Have you ever dreamt of something? You had this big goal, big ambition, big plans you had this new thing you're working on, and yet you love it, you dedicated your whole life to it. It's everything you love, it means so much to you, and nobody else can just really get it the way you do. And then when you finish this work you're doing, and then you put it out there for everyone to see, and yet it's not getting the attention that you wanted it to get. And then you feel disappointed, you feel down, you feel sad, and you feel like you failed miserably. And yeah, I get that feeling too. Everyone has been there. Hello everyone, my name is James, and I'm sort of new to this, so this is gonna be like an official first video of mine, although this is like the first video I have ever done. And I wanted to talk about this new book I read online. It's called The Elementals. Now, whether you call it the elementals or elementals, I don't know. The naming of this book is funny and interesting at the same time. And yet this book really changed me in a way. It's just only one volume of this book is out, and I can confidently tell you guys that this book is really, really good. This book really changed me in a lot of ways that I really wasn't expecting it to. It's not like a grand masterpiece or anything. It's just a very simple story, and I think it works out very well. And despite all that, why is no one talking about it? Okay, so if I wanted to describe this book in one, or to give a general idea on how this book or what this book is even about, when I was reading this book, the concept of this book kind of reminds me of Avatar: The Last Airbender mixed with Attack on Titan. That's the general way I can describe this, because it kind of have similar things there. Okay, so the elementals or elementals or whatever are actually gods that possesses the power to control different kinds of elements. This image kind of gives us a general idea on what they would control. Now this image kind of shows a lot, because for this first volume we've only seen 4 of them. I'm sure we have 9 in total, the ones on Earth. However, it is implied that there are probably more, but I'll get to that later. So right now we know that there are just basically 9 of these guys, and this kind of shows us how many of them there are. So I said, there are only 4 of them, so these are just the ones that we were introduced to. The first one we have the fire elemental, or yellow elemental, the green elemental, and the water elemental. So to put this simply, how did the elementals even get here? What is their deal? And the deal about these guys is that, one, they were created by a group of beings called the Pure Gods. The Pure Gods are basically deities who left their own universe, came to our universe, studied humanity, and then decided that, oh, this looks nice. So as God created man in his own image, so did the Pure Gods create the elementals in their own image, and boom, they're made out of pure energy. They don't have flesh, they don't have ears or any sign of youthful growing or aging. They're just made out of energy. So they all live peacefully until, one day one of the gods kind of went rebel and caused all of them to fight each other for unknown reasons. And the god was kind of banished from them, typical story. And the other element. So one day, one of the elementals decided to run away from her planet to explore the universe. He then came to Earth, and then the first fusion happened between man and God. And then we saw a human and an elemental fuse. This was a very interesting idea, because the man could now utilize the powers of the elementals. The Pure Gods were intrigued by this, and they decided that, okay, that's pretty neat. Let's make more elementals and give them to humanity and see how pretty dope that is. And then boom, that's how the elementals started to live on Earth. It is implied that the power can be passed down from generations to generations. Although I'm not sure if this is only something that can be passed down through a bloodline or it can just be passed down to anyone. It's not really clear, but it is kind of implied that it's just you can just pass the power down so to anyone. So I don't think it's only like it has to be like a bloodline kind of thing. I think anybody can become an elemental, which is pretty interesting, by the way. Okay, so by now you're probably wondering, okay, so yeah, you've told us what an elemental is. Like, tell us, what about the characters? Like, what is this story about? And yeah, I said I was going to get to that. So the main character of this book is called Jason McCoy. And I don't want to go too much details about it because I want you guys to experience this book for yourself. But if I wanted to describe Jason's character, I would pretty much say he's something similar to Peter Parker. You know, we all know Peter Parker, the kid who was the nerdy brat who then got beaten by, sorry, did I say nerdy brat? Sorry, that was a mistake. He was beaten by a radioactive spider and he got his powers. He lost his Uncle Ben, he learned with great power comes great responsibility, and then he accepted his title as Spider-Man. So it's pretty similar, but not exactly similar. Jason is sort of like, Jason had this little ego back there. Jason is like a baker. He works like in this bakery. He and his grandfather used to bake. They're well known around the kingdom, and if you want to start this book, the starting of the book is pretty chill. Like nothing really happens for in the first chapter. It's just showing us like how Jason operates, how the kingdom functions. Oh yeah, this takes place in Camelot, by the way. So yeah, King Arthur, yeah, he's here. Merlin was also mentioned here as well. So I'm a sucker for all those kind of Arthurian legends and stuff like that. So this also kind of got to me as well. So everything in this first chapter is just pretty chill. It's just going over what the kind of life Jason is living. But then when to the next chapter, things just completely changed. Like I said, I don't want to spoil anything because I want you guys to experience this for yourself. But Jason's life completely goes 180 and everything just totally changes. His life changes, how he perceives the world changes, everything just sort of changes. And then Jason goes on a path that will forever change his character. Jason in the beginning was more of an egotistical kind of guy. He's not exactly really egotistical, and the reason why I like Jason is because while he does have a little ego, it's not really annoying or anything that kind of gets to you or be like, oh, now this guy's annoying. No, there's another character who is like that, and trust me, Jason is nothing like him. So yeah, don't worry about that. Jason is basically your average main protagonist, but he's so very interesting because Jason has an interesting mindset that I really think you guys are gonna like. Like I said, I'm not gonna spoil anything too much. I want you guys to read this for yourselves. And yeah, I think you will enjoy Jason's character, and the arc that he has at the end is also very nice. There are also other side characters as well. There are also elementals too that they will also help Jason to grow further as a character. They're basically, like I said, there are four of these characters. The elementals appeared, and yeah, these guys are all amazing characters. I'd say Jack is my favorite. Now yeah, Jack doesn't really spend too much time in the story. He appears towards the ending, but bro, he is a well-written character, and I kind of like that. And one thing that makes him interesting is that towards the ending, you guys will be shocked about a thing about his character that I think some people will actually like. Plus, he's good looking, so yeah, that's there too. There's also Anna as well, and my god, Anna is probably one of the best written female characters I've seen. Now I know that's a bit of a stretch to say because after all, this is just the first volume, so we don't know what will happen next. But I can confidently tell you guys that you will really like Anna's character. If you like Nobara from Jujutsu Kaisen, I definitely think you will love Anna as well. She's so energetic. Any scene she's in, she just kind of finds a way to light up the entire environment, and I completely like that. And yeah, I kind of ship Jason and Anna too. I mean, it kind of looks as if that's what it's implying. So yeah, funny. Connor is also pretty cool as well. well. He's kind of like this kind of Superman kind of guy who is always full of hope. He always smiles and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think Connor is actually pretty chill. Jason's grandfather is also pretty good, although he does do some things that kind of pisses me off sometimes. Like, I mean, if you guys read the story, you will kind of understand, but he's not a terrible character. His actions are understandable and all that stuff, so it's not like I don't understand why he did the things he did, or it's more so the fact that, yeah, it's kind of a little bit of annoying, but I don't really hate him at all. He's pretty chill. Like, he's a chill baker. Like, come on, he's chill like that. Jason also has a best friend called Adam, and yeah, Adam also has a little mini arc in this story. It does seem as if Adam and Jason were kind of like the central main characters of this first volume, because Jason goes through an arc, Adam also goes through an arc here as well, which I also thought was pretty interesting. They're also like sort of knights kind of characters. Now this is where the Attack on Titan aspect of the story that I said was inspired by, because these kind of own separate stories by themselves. Like Adam and his own group of friends are training to become knights, so they go to this examination. We get to see their characters, and all of them are actually very interesting. Like Mike, this egotistical little bastard. I think he's pretty fun as well. Like, Mike is kind of energetic. We also have Beatrix. I think Beatrix is pretty cool too. Cynthia is a very energetic character. I think she's kind of similar to Anna, and it's funny because Anna and Cynthia didn't even talk, which is like, come on, man. Like, why didn't these two talk? I really need to see these two have an interaction. Then there is Frank, who is like Adam's rival. The two of them are like sort of the best in the academy. Oh yeah, I forgot, there's an academy where all the knights are training. Adam and his group of friends are like fifth years that are graduating to become knights. So they go to this examination where they have to fight dragons and stuff. And yeah, obviously there are dragons here. Like, when I mentioned Camelot, obviously there was going to be dragons. Like, why would they be dragons? And the whole plot around this is like, okay, dragons are attacking the south, which is like South Camelot. So they're attacking there, they're gathering there, and it's only there they've been attacking. And like the knights and the commander and all that stuff, they're trying to figure out like, why is this happening? Why are they like gathering there? And the plot twist and like the development is actually very interesting. It just kind of leaves the audience curious on like, okay, what is going on? Like, why are the dragons only attacking the south? It just kind of like gets the mystery until we like finally solve it, until like, oh, so that's why this is happening. Like I said, I don't want to spoil. Like, you guys should check it out by yourself. So what makes elementals so interesting is about the way they control their elements. Okay, let me explain this in a very simple way. Let's take Katara, for example, from Avatar The Last Airbender. When she wants to bend, she would have to like be around water or have water on her in order for her to move and manipulate water. However, elementals don't have to do this. What makes it interesting is that, for example, Connor, who is the water elemental, doesn't need to have water around him. He can just simply convert his energy into water, and then he can just bend water from there, which means in a fight, Connor would have the advantage because Connor can just change his own energy into water, so he can just bend water wherever he goes. He doesn't need to be surrounded by a large pool of water or have water on him to even bend it, and that's pretty cool. Okay, by now I'm sure some of you are probably wondering, why haven't I heard about this book? Why haven't I seen this book? And I think the reason is because the author is a self-publisher. I don't think the author is like a company is like publishing or something like that. And no, I think the author is self-publishing his work, which is probably the reason why not a lot of people even know of the existence of this book, which is pretty sad because this book is really good. And I don't think this video is even going to do it justice because, like I said, I don't want to spoil. Now, later on, I will definitely make a detailed analysis of this book and why I think it's so amazing and why all the characters in it are so well written. this video is not really doing it justice. It's also not scripted as well, so I'm just kind of yamping my ass off based on the things I remember. But yeah, this book is really, really good. It's really just underrated, and it kind of saddens me that nobody's even reading it. Now, if you guys wanna read this book, it's available on web novel. It's also on Wattpad too. The book is also on Amazon as well if you like really want to support the author, because yeah, I don't think the author is doing well, guys. Like, the author does have a Twitter account where he normally just drops posts and pictures of like the characters and stuff. But then he dropped this tweet, which was like about depression and stuff. And the fact that this was overlooked was kind of sad, because I can tell that the author is not really doing well mentally. And he just kept posting after that. Like, even after dropping this tweet, it just felt like everything was normal. Like nobody really cared. And that's just really kind of sad. When I saw this, I was like, no, like this can't stand. Like, I have to do my best to get this word out, because I can tell that this guy isn't really doing well at all. And I feel like maybe there's no one else that he can talk to about this. I'm not really sure what kind of life he lives, but I can definitely tell he's not really doing well right now. So yeah, this channel is going to be fully dedicated to elemental stuff. I'm going to be breaking down character analysis, power scaling, and trust me, the power scaling of this book is pretty crazy. Like, I'm not joking. When I tell you that characters are like continental to planetary, yeah, you're going to be like, whoa. Yeah, so yeah, this book is actually very interesting. And if this book actually continues and keeps going on and on, I think this book might be on the level of Shadow Slave and Lord of the Mysteries. And I'm not joking. Like, this book has so much potential, so much lore within it, that I feel like people not giving this a chance will probably break it. If the author decides to give up because nobody's reading it, then that would be really sad, because I can tell he put a lot of effort into it, which is why I made up that like statement in the beginning of the video as well. When you pour your heart out to do something you love, and then nobody like gets to see it and stuff, and I feel like that's what he's also feeling as well. So yeah, this is just a video like trying to get you guys to see the book. And one of the reasons why I feel like people won't probably read it is because it's a light novel. I can't read a novel. Like, I want a manga or something. I want to see pictures, or I want to watch an anime. And I get it. Like, I really, really get it. I never really liked novels myself. I didn't really read them that much. And here, look at me today, glazing a novel right now. Novels is one of the most underrated mediums of entertainment, because not a lot of people are willing to sit down to just read. Like, we're all dumb and lazy as heck, so not all of us are gonna be like reading a novel. Like, there are many people, there are millions who read novels, definitely, but it's kind of hard to pass it across. And I think the reason why this novel kind of engaged me is because of the images as well. Because like I said, they are sketches. You will get to see some of the characters. You get to see how they look like and all that kind of stuff. So this novel is actually pretty good. You guys should check it out if you're interested. I have a Twitter account, like I can be dropping there if you guys are also interested. I also have a TikTok where I've been trying to promote the series there as well. So if you guys are interested, I'll link those down below. I'll try to create a Discord too, so that we guys can just come together, chat about the series, and talk about fun things and stuff. So maybe in the next video I drop, I will have had a Discord already made. So yeah, with that being the case, thanks for watching. It's been your boy James, and I'll see you all in the next one.